What's up, everyone? My name is Kunchi from Cooking with Kunchi, and today I got something real simple for you guys: how to make some spare ribs. Now, this video is going to apply to whether you're doing the full rack of spare ribs or the St. Louis cut of the spare ribs. So make sure you guys stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to the page, make sure you go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Follow us on all socials, and let's get into it. So right here we have a rack of St. Louis cut spare ribs, and we're just gonna show you guys how we're doing it. We're doing a real quick and easy cook on these spare ribs right here today. Now my prep on these are fairly simple. I typically go ahead and cut this flat meat off. It's not much right here, but just so you guys get the idea, you just want to right along that there. Now you don't have that extra little piece that's gonna hang in your smoker and burn. As far as the ribs go, on the ends, I like to get that little floppy piece off. So boom, that little piece. And this over here looks fine, so we're not gonna mess with that. Now I prefer to move the membrane off. If I'm cooking 10 or 20 racks of ribs, I'm not gonna remove them. I'm just doing a rack of rib at home. I'm definitely going to do that. We're going to remove this, and all I do is just pinch the end right here. Paper towel really helps you to get a good grip on it. And once you have a good amount of it up that you can grab, now you just tear, and that is gone. Next step right now is seasoning. And I like this Midnight Kick barbecue rub from Right Way Barbecue. I will tag this and everything else that I'm using down in the description box below. As you guys can see, I do not use a binder on my ribs, and there's no seasoning falling off. Now, using a binder ain't wrong. It's not necessary like some people make it out to seem. So really light coating on the back, then we're gonna hit the top side, the meat side, real heavy. I'm a backyard cook, guys. I don't do all the stuff that the top guys do. I just want to make good food for my friends and family. So I like to use good quality rubs that I do not have to layer to get the flavor. So this rub from Right Way Barbecue, it is a really solid standalone rub. Yes, you can layer it, but it has all the components of a good rub that you don't need to use anything else. So it's a really solid standalone rub that has all the sugar, all the pepper, all the salt that you want, and it's got beautiful color. So we're just going to use this by itself. So right now we have our fire burnt in, the fire starter is gone, and we have our coals starting to spread. So we're going to show you guys how I get my fire set up for success. I typically light with one spot over here. We're going to put the deflector on, and then we're going to go ahead and throw the grates on this right now. We get the grates in there, and we're going to shut this down, and the goal is to get this about 250 degrees, this wide open, and we're going to have the bottom vents wide open as well, and we're going to push some air through this. Once the temperature gets up to about 225, we're going to start backing down off the air. So we'll slow down the bottom vents, close down the top vents a little bit, and that should get us to where we want to be. So right now you can see that we have our temperature set right at 250 degrees, and we are ready to put the ribs on. That's my preferred temp to cook ribs, no matter what smoker I'm using. So there's something interesting about opening a Kamado style smoker, okay? The entire principle of operating a Kamado style grill as a smoker, you have to severely deprive it of oxygen. So you got to be careful how you're opening it, because we have really small openings for that oxygen to get in there. So right now you must practice doing this thing, burping your Kamado smoker. So you want to just crack it just like that. Let some of the heat, air, smoke, everything escape through the sides right here first before you swing it open. That thing will burn you like nobody's business. So now that I have ribs on, I'm gonna give myself 3 hours. All I'm gonna focus on is make sure that we are keeping 250 to 275 degrees. Before I even look at it and check it to see what it's doing, no spritzing, and I'm gonna try to no wrap. So depending on how it looks at 3 hours in, we'll determine if we're gonna wrap it or not. So you guys can see right now that beautiful clean smoke that we're running out of the Kamado. We're sitting right at 250 degrees, and now it's 2 hours in. I'm getting a little anxious. I know you guys are getting anxious. So let's show you what these are looking like. All right, so remember, we're gonna crack it before we pop it open, and that's what they're looking like at 2 hours in. So guys, check this out. Yes, this part here looks dry. This part here does not. You still do not need to spray it down with none. Just have patience. Let the meat continue to cook. The bark is developing nicely. So at 3 hours, I'm gonna make sure this thing is not done, because we don't want to overcook it. All right, so that's what the update is looking like at 2 hours in. Clean smoke culture. So I typically don't sauce my ribs, but I know you guys love to see sauce. Apparently people eat with their eyes. So if I were to use sauce, this is the sauce I like, Stubbs. It's just a really good flavor. It's not super ketchup-y. It's just a good balanced sauce. So we're gonna hit this. It's got a really nice bark on it. Now we're just gonna get it coated. Now we're gonna let this go for about 30 to 45 minutes. We're 3 hours in right now, and then we're gonna check what the doneness is on it before we do anything else. 3.5 hours get in, 3 hours and 45 minutes. I'm going to do the bend test on it. We'll check and see how it is, and then after that we'll know how long we need. But this should not take us 4 hours, and if it does, it shouldn't take us much more than 4 hours. Stay tuned. So we put the ribs in here just to rest. We shut everything down. We didn't really need the active heat. And this is just a hot hold. I didn't want to go turn the oven on, but as you can see, we got that really good bend on it. These are ready to go. So let's try them out. There you go. Ooh. Look at that thing. Broke right apart. So let's see how these ribs slice. There you go. So that's what 4 hours of cook time and 20 minutes of rest in the smoker, just wrapped in foil. That's how you get these ribs right here. And we were cooking at between 250 275 the whole time. So let's see how they do. So here is the results, right? Not fall off the bone, but super tender. It can pull off just with your finger. Okay, really, really good. Clean bite. So the Weber Summit, running it at 250. If you want your ribs less done than this, you can actually pull back and cook them for a little bit less of a time. All right, so thank you guys for watching today. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. But these ribs, absolutely killer. Follow us for more.